can't believe I'm doing this again, but I think thanks to my new friends that I've been meeting here. So, the history of these live videos on ribbons are just totally organic. A few weeks ago, I've done crazy videos where I've ribboned Buyer 160s, 500s. Recently, I've done Coles live on the spot. Those you never will see. I don't think anyone's ever done one live, and I've done, I think, two or three of them live. Um, Coles are some of the hardest mics to re-ribbon. And I'm not even saying that no one else can do them. There's a lot of people all over the world that can do them, but none of them really, maybe they don't have the time, but no one would ever show you how it's done. It's kind of an industry, I don't know if they're gatekeeping. Some of them aren't. I have a friend that's probably the greatest ribbon repair guy in all of the world. He's a young guy named Coles, and he's just fucking amazing. And I think that he does really a lot of great tutorial videos on showing you what ribbons sound like and what they do. I just happen to show more of the other side of actually doing ribbon mics. Something I wanted to mention to you guys, I never really think about this, but I do have memberships for now that I've been monetized. If you guys want to help me out, I know you can always buy me a coffee. And the under the icon there's a little thank you icon. You can buy me a cup of coffee, and you can get me a Topo Chico. That's what I'm drinking right now. Got my Topo Chico ready. It definitely supports me. Definitely helps me out. If you become a member, I know I have a few members right now, and the coolest thing about that is when I have a video premiering of a YouTube, I can let my members see it maybe even a day before it goes public. And I think that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? It kind of like there's a community of people here. If you want to sign up to be a member, it does help me out. And if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that helps me out. But also, the reason I'm here is to show you a little bit about some life hacks on ribbon microphones. This is a ribbon microphone I just did a day ago. It is made of all pure silver wiring, which is crazy. And this mic I just finished. This is for sale. This is my own mic. If you want to hit me up, um, if you want to hit me up, you could basically pick this up for me. Just send me information. I'll let you know about the price. This is a wicked mic. This is another one for sale. This is a Cascade Victor, and if you can see that massive ribbon in there, that's like a 3-inch ribbon. This mic came out killer as well. So this one's pure silver, hand built by me, for sale. Hit me up and I'll let you know. And this is another one. This is a Cascade mic. This one is $450, and I'll ship it free in the US, and I'll share it fully. This one, if you were to buy it without me putting in the ribbon, is still almost the same price. I think they don't make Cascades anymore. I think they became a company called Pinnacle. And this mic is really amazing. The same transducer inside of an R84, and I believe of something of an RDA. It's one of my favorite transducers. It has a kind of an hourglass shape. You can kind of see it in there. This mic is going to be 500 even. This is a donor body, which was an R40, and the transducer or the gap in there is like almost 5.5 millimeters, which is Coles or 6. Great gap. Put in a sick ribbon in here. It's made of pure silver, which makes it sound totally fucking smooth. This one here is 500 even. I only in the US, both of these I'll ship for free, and I'll cover insurance wise. And actually, both of these mics, if you get them from me, let's say immediately you open it up and you plug it in and you accidentally had your phantom power and you blow these mics, as long as you don't send me these mics back and they're crushed or you ran them over and just the ribbons are blown, I will definitely always re-ribbon them for you. It's $30 for the ribbon, and you cover the shipping. So you can use these on drums, guitars. If you have a session where you know you're going to blow because this guy plays really loud and you want to put this on the guitar, you can send it back to me. And ribbons in some ways are kind of like tires on a car. They're meant to be replaced, and you can replace them. So these two mics are for sale. This one's $5 if you want to contact me. Fully insured, US free shipping. This one is $450. Even though this one's massive, this one has probably about 200 or 300. Well, I say about $200 of pure silver wiring inside it. So, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, a little bit smaller. This one is really badass as well. Great tone, big open up, a lot of top end in this microphone. This one has smooth top end. This one is just really accurate, bold, large ribbon, nothing stopping the sound. I love the bigger cages on these. So definitely you can pick up both of these from me if you contact me. These ones are almost of the R40s and the R144s if you watch any of my old videos. These are a microphone you can buy from Sweetwater for 99 bucks. If you contact me, I'll give you my P.O. box. You can go online to Sweetwater. You order these for 99 bucks. I recommend getting a pair. You then send it to me, which is free shipping from Sweetwater, and I'll upgrade these for you. These are $250 a piece. I put a Royer type of a ribbon in here, which has a lot of resilience, and it has really good mids and highs. The mic sounds like $1,000,000, not $1,000,000. If you buy this mic from me, I guarantee you this will sound as good as like an R84. And I have some friends that have studios in Los Angeles that have stopped using their R84s and use these instead. They're killer. I just had a bud pick this up and take it down to Orange County, and he just wrote me a text message, and because he had a stock one, and he just wanted to know, like, hey man, I'm gonna pay Manny this money. He's gonna get this done. He compared it to it. He said that he felt like playing guitar again because after he heard his guitars through the ribbon mic that I did, compared to the really flat kind of vanilla sounding stock ribbon, he could not believe on how much character came out of it. And that's what I do. That's why I do ribbon mics. And also, if you want to sign up to be a member here, you just sign up, and it's just a membership fee of a few bucks, and it helps me out every month. So on to the main point of what I'm doing here. Let me put these to the side. Shout out to Electric Owl Works. My friend Charles here sent me some microphones, and we're going to be starting with this series of microphones that he has sent me. There are these bad boys. Hold on a second. I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. Hold on. Hold your horses. Ooh. And he sent me, which is very familiar to the Victor. I think it's his Victor's little brother. Same probably place in China where they make all these mics. We got that one coming into the picture. I'll just put you right there. And then even way more cool, I'm super stoked about this one. If I can find it in the bag. Hold on now. Hold on now. And over the next few days, we'll be getting to this. This is a little sneaky peeky right here. This is an MXL R80. Inside this looks like an N22. And when I opened up an N22, I was like, I wonder who came first, the N22 or this. But anyways, this is a Super 6 mic. These mics were meant to be put on Marshall cabinets. They have a lot of foam and gauze inside, which is what the N22 has. That's really the only difference between that, unofficially saying, and the N8. So the N8 and the N22, almost the same mic, I think. So let me put that back in there. We're going to be getting to these in the next few days. But anyways, I'm going to say thank you to Charles. He actually, because, you know, I'm always about coffee, his grandmother used to give him this coffee when he was a little kid. And he sent me some of this, which is totally awesome. I'm actually on to my last little bag of espresso, and I am excited to use this. He told me the whole story about how he got this. I want to say thank you. He sent me some strings. How fucking cool is that? And also, he does work with this company, and they do these plugins that Chad Blake has used, Cornuff, and he's anyways, he's the man over there. This guy, and he has a wicked studio out in the East Coast. So if you want to add him as a friend, Electric Owl Works, he just sent a hey. You can definitely send him a message, find out about his studio, follow him. he probably has a lot of cool stuff in there considering who he works with. He works with some crazy cool artists, and I want to thank him for sending this out to me. These are not for sale. These are his own microphones, um, and he was nice enough to send me some little parting gifts to some coffee and some strings. If you know Manny and you watch my videos, I am a shredder. I do play guitar, so thank you. Um, all right, back to what we're coming here for are these. These are fatheads, which I don't believe Cascades are made anymore. I think Cascades have become I just said the name of it. Oh my god, a Pinnacle. And I don't know if those are made in China as well, but I know when I got these, I haven't opened these up yet. The ribbons are usually like Chinese microphones, and I mean that not in a condescending way. I mean they're just not installed well. They usually, most of the time, are just out of shape. So he sent me these two fat heads, and I'm going to be changing the ribbons in these for him, and realistically, probably getting 2 to 3 more dBs, maybe even up to 5 dBs more sound if I cut these right. And that is the biggest thing about these. When I talked about, let me get this real quick. These are the mics. And also, this is a custom color I did, which was this automotive paint. I made the silver one green. These aren't usually green. These are usually blue, and I don't have one right around me right now. But these are MXL 144s. This is a 40, which is like almost identical, except it was the oldest one. These are made in China. And when they come in, the ribbons are always just kind of fucked. And I've noticed that. So I guess the argument would be when you buy these for 99 bucks and you have me upgrade them, now you're talking about 350 you have into a ribbon mic. And then you could say the argument would be like, well, Manny, that's a lot of money, 350 bucks. There are no good ribbons under 500 bucks. You can't find any, except maybe if you get on the used market and SC Voodoo, which I really love, maybe a buyer 160, but there's a chance that the ribbon isn't good in those because those are some of the best microphones, but they get wasted really quick and really easy. And then the next argument would be like, well, why don't, if I can buy a fathead for 400 bucks, why would I buy $99 and have you upgrade it when I could just go buy a fathead? Well, the problem with the fatheads are that even though these are 350 to 450 to 500 bucks, depending if they have Lindell transformers in them, I don't know if this one did or not, but the ribbons are still the same. That is the only difference from Chinese made microphones to, let's say, AEA ribbon microphones or AEA, Coles, Royer, Bayer, and I'm not talking about stuff like SC Voodoos. I'm just talking about the most expensive ribbons that cost over $1,000, all the way up to $5,000. They have a serious ribbon installing department. Every one of them do, and these mics don't. I mean, they get it done and they put ribbons in them, but it's different when you get oh yeah, that's right, the owner of Cascade passed away and they changed companies to Pinnacle Microphones, and fatheads are now called fat tops. This all came from Electric Outworks, the owner of this microphone. So yeah, so the argument would be, hey man, if we do all this stuff for 350, even this one being 500 bucks after I put pure silver wiring in it, how is that, you know, how is that competitive? Well, the difference is, for the last 5 years, I've been doing ribbons in microphones, and I do, if you watch my videos, I've done Coles, which no one ever does Coles. I can handle 0.6 ribbon, which is insane to work with. I can do those. I can do Bayer 160s, 500s, 260s. I've done BK5s, almost all the RCAs, and I've even done some of the oldest ribbons made, even telefucking ribbons. So I'm very familiar with what a ribbon means to a good mic. Also, I am a producer and I do sick bands, and I have ATCs, Neves, APIs, Wally Hyder APIs, and I've worked on Butch Vig's BK5 ribbons. I worked on Michael Beinhorn's BK5 ribbons. I'm making a mic for Daniel Lanois right now. So I've done stuff with these really, really great artists, producers. So my own taste in what things should sound like are a little bit different than the guy that has a Mackie console and little Mackie speakers. And he's like, hey man, I just did this mic. It sounds great. Well, it probably does. But when you put your shit through an ATC and you crank it loud, it's really quick. You can tell if there's some distortion in your ribbon mic and it's not sounding good. So long story long, that's the deal. So when you get a fathead, even though they cost $350 to $500, you can get a pair for like 700 or $800, and you can see, is that, the quality. One thing I will say about the quality, these mics are some of my favorite lollipops ever made. But the only shortcomings are the ribbons. Why? When these were made, because I think they just got by. They have high quality mics. Whoever installed the ribbons, it's okay, but there's a difference. I've been to AEA. I've seen what they do there. It's fucking incredible. Over at Royer, they weigh the ribbon, and every mic has to have the same weight of ribbon. And so the quality and the what would be the word, like the tolerance for something that isn't perfect in those companies is like super intense. For instance, like Royer will only make 50 mics because if something in those batch of 50 is wrong, they have a shorter group of mics that they can correct it with. Let's say a transformer is going, let's say they make 50 and they send it out. Suddenly they start getting mics back and they research and they go, oh, this is part of this 50s lot. The transformers are going bad. They can, I don't know if that's ever happened. I'm just saying that's their kind of system. So they care about mics that much is why you spend, $1,500 for Royer. It's space age metal. But once again, I think they did. These are the only mics that you get a big lollipop grill, and that's what I really love. This has a lot to do with how good the sound is coming into ribbons, because the ribbons hear everything in the front, and they hear everything in the back. So let me put this little guy back. We are talking about Cascades today, and I do think these are some of my favorite mics. Now, an alternate and a cheaper version of this is going to be a Nady RSM4, which looks almost identical, except it had a kind of a flat screen. And those are my like other favorite ones. And then if you get an RSM5, which has more of an egg shape, once again, it's another cheaper version of this. But Cascades are the only ones that still to this day will cost you up to $700 for a pair of them. But if you spend the time and and you can really put a good ribbon in these, now you've elevated these up to sound as good as R84s and up to those mics that are like $1,400. So that's kind of my spiel, my schnizzle, my nizzle about that. Let me get a drink of my Topo Chico. I may have said Tapatio. I like Tapatio too, but I wouldn't be drinking it right now. Holy smokes. Well, today I got a really good visit from my buddy. He came and picked up one of my MXLs, and he's already done. I did, I think, two Cascade stereo ribbon mics for him, and so he had bought a pair of MXL R144s, and even though he flipped out over the way I made the Cascade sound better. He does this thing where he records before he gives them to me. Then I do the re-ribbons, and then and the coolest thing about him, he gets to critique me, and he loves to do it. And every time he does it, he's like, man, your fucking ribbons have smoked the original. So he had dropped off one MXL, and he had kept one. And he had, so today he picked up the MXL that I did, like the one I just told you about in Sweetwater. He took it back to the studio and he wrote me a really sweet message, just once again saying that how much he was blown away on the ribbon. And it's the same exact mic, but how much of a difference a ribbon is enough to make you fucking happy. Like he's like, I want to play guitar again. I heard my guitars through it. The detail that you get back from a good ribbon is that same feeling you get when you spent $1,500 and you're like, this better sound good. And then you hear it and you go, holy smokes, that sounds good. So that's what I do. that's what I'm bringing to you right now. I have a variety of mics that I have for sale if you want to contact me. But also, another sneak peek is I have man, I'm surrounded by about 30 microphones. This is another one that really surprised me. My friend Paul from England sent me a collection to do, and this is called a R102 Super Lux. I think these are about 150 bucks. This is like on steroids. You need phantom power to run this. It's so it was gnarly. Like I plugged it in and it was like you ran this into a Sans amp or something. The intensity of it was so intense because my ribbons make the mic louder. So having a louder ribbon, and which technically would have been a cheap, probably Chinese ribbon in this, just made this mic come alive. So that's another one on my new radar to find, and I do believe in it. This would be like a great one mic like on a drum set between the snare and the toms, just giving you this outrageous sound, or even out in front of the drum set. I think it's a once again I appreciate Paul sending that to me. What's up, Juan Hernandez from Palmdale, or is it Palmdale, right? That's not too far from LA. Okay, you guys already got me wore out, man. I'm already wore out. It's 10 p.m. here. I'm exhausted already. It's been a long day. I just did a mix for my buddy. Hopefully he's happy with the song. So I wear different hats. I'm a producer. I'm making my own ribbon mic. I can't premiere to show it to you until I get the prototypes back. I think we have an estimate of 6 weeks. I'll be able to make the first 3 mics from the prototypes. We do have a patent pending we're going to be doing on it because I'll guarantee you when I release it, people are going to rip me off. I know it's fucking crazy, but that's the way it is. And I'm making a ribbon mic that no one's ever seen before, something like this. So when I get done with it, and the reason I say that is because I was at one of my other favorite mics from Europe, is My Lab. And they make a mic that like Michael Jackson used. I think it was called a VP60. I had that for a little bit, did some records with it. But anyways, they make a triangular capsule, which is not round, triangular, tube mics and condensers. And when I was talking with Mateus, the guy from there, he kind of like said, hey, look at that. And he kind of shrugged over his shoulder to a massive big company that was next to their company. And I look up and they have rectangular capsules. And I went, dude, what the fuck? My lab was the first. He goes, I know. Like, it just doesn't matter anymore. Even though they were the first ones to make rectangular capsules at NAMM, right next to their own company was another big, massive company, way bigger than them, showcasing their rectangular capsules. And so just a reality will be, no matter how much I try to, see if I can get this going on here. Protect my work. I'm gonna get ripped off. So at least I gotta cover myself to some point. So my ribbon that I'll be putting inside this will have a little bit more of a sharper teeth, or more of a I think there's gonna be a little bit more definition than this one, but this one looks pretty good. Well, no, it's a little too lax actually. But in the world of these, this is fine. I mean, you would have put these on the drums, you'd be like, fuck yeah, man, fatheads, they fucking rule. But after I get done with this, it's going to be better. So one of the things I say that always happens to fatheads, at least the ones that I've seen, is there's a little strip of tape here, which is different. This one looks like it's silver. It used to have this gray tape. It used to dry out so quick that almost every fathead I got, this was just useless. And when that tape dries up, that screen comes off, basically messes up your mic. So almost every fathead and Cascade I would get, I definitely replace that tape. But since I'm doing this mic, I'm going to do both sides. It just makes sure that when he gets the mic back, it'll last. I mean, that tape that I'm going to put on it is pretty good. And also, I can tell right now, this isn't really that sticky anymore. Once again, why they put tape that maybe after a while loses its through moisture and humidity, just becomes useless. And what happens is eventually this screen just comes loose in there and it could totally mess up the ribbon. So looking at this ribbon, let me see the gap. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know if you can see my, how can I do this? Let me get some white paper. See, no, that really doesn't do it either. If you can see, there's a massive gap on each side of the ribbon. That is a malnourished ribbon in there. And what I'll do is I'll just fill in that gap. I don't know if you can tell, but I can't even put my finger back here. You can't really see it. Maybe my hand will do it. It's hard to tell. But anyways, yeah, this ribbon, whatever this gap is, probably close to a millimeter of gap on either side. I mean, equal 1 millimeter. And what it is that since this is probably mass produced somewhere in China, they just lay a ribbon in because this is sometimes inconsistent, the gap. So let's say this measures at 5 millimeters. It can be from 490 to 5.5 millimeters, depending on the magnets. I'm actually not sure. When I get MXLs, I don't know what the inconsistency is in the gap, but they're always different. My feelings are it could be the adhesive, could be the magnets. Maybe these are machined by hand, not CNC machine. So I don't know. But whatever the case is, I've got to measure this. But first off, I have to remove the tape from the back side of this. Because if I'm going to do the front side, I might as well do the back side. So this way, when he gets the mic back, and look at this is already super loose. I didn't even do anything, and that was already ready to come off. That one's good. That one's good. Yeah, we just had one screw that was just saying, yeah, take me out. Take me out. Cash me out. What the fuck? All right, hold on a second. So this is some boring shit. If you just tuned in and you don't know what I'm doing, it's a ribbon mic. But I always tell you, man, those Pakistani guys, you know, get an axle from a truck and it breaks. He takes it in the shop and they have just pulleys and shit. And they pull it up and like 5 guys get it and they get a car jack and they use the car jack to separate the broken part and they cut it up. And then they have these machines that they weld it together by hand. It's just and they're not using eye protection when they're welding it. Like, that's the kind of shit that's kind of like you can watch that for forever. This, I'm not sure. I like this kind of stuff. I'm sure some people like this, but yeah, this is not really coming out, so we'll just have to wait. Charles says he bought these from Cascade in 2017. That is a while ago. Directly from them. And you know, when you bought these, there just wasn't a lot of these around. So at the time, this was your only alternate. If you don't want to spend $3,000 for a pair of Coles, then you would buy some fatheads. And they're still, even today, I think, highly respected. They've held their value, and I'm working on them, making them sound like even better than when they were when you bought them. Here, there it goes. The magnets are sticking the screws. This one, the force is strong in this one. It's not even letting me grab this screw out of here. Really? Holy smokes. Yeah, these magnets are just ripping. That's why they're not coming out. The magnets are so strong, they're keeping the screws in the transducer. There's another one. And they have different levels of these. Sometimes I get these and they're not really, I don't know if there's inconsistency in it, but these ones are actually really, really good. I mean, I love the way they did the wiring on this. So yeah, I'm going to remove the back only because I've got to put new screen. I'm going to put new tape here. But I'm not going to put the tape on until I get the ribbon in. I do want to have some flexibility when I install the ribbon. That having this screen behind it is a little bit of a, kind of fucks me up. It's hard to work with it because I don't want the ribbon to touch the screen. And when I install it, it's a little bit of a clusterfuck. Oh, and then, I'm sorry. It's Chaz, my correction. Every time your name comes up, I get it's Charles everywhere, and I didn't know it was Chaz, so I'm sorry, my homie, my peeps. And yeah, this is Chaz's mic. He's a really sweetheart. He sent me some coffee, some strings, and some paraphernalia for his company that he works for. He's also a producer and has a wicked studio that he's converted on the East Coast, and he's getting that all sorted out. Getting these ribbon mics organized and getting ready to be in the new studio is a big deal. And I will say, man, these magnets are super strong. I mean, they're just, that's why I couldn't pull this out. I mean, they're that strong. They're magnetizing this whole mic. I mean, these may be some of the strongest I don't even know why these would be any different, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's half inch. I don't know. They just seem massively strong. All right. Well, that ribbon shot anyways, which is okay. We are going to replace it. So I didn't put the 4 screws back in because I still want to have access to the backside when I'm installing the ribbon. And because of screws flying in there, I just want to make sure that I have easy access to open it up. So I have a pair of them. I'm only going to do one here live. He has sent me quite a few mics to do as well, which is cool. I have a variety of mics to get going here. And like I said, I just realized that if you guys ever want to sign up for memberships, instead of I'm always like trying to whore out a coffee from you, you just send a membership, and I think they charge you a small monthly fee. And when I release videos, I can actually do exclusives for memberships, which is cool. I remember when I posted a few, I think I only had like 2 members or 3 members, and they're same guys, really fucking rad dudes that are always saying hey. And I just thought, well, at least I'll put it out there if you're watching this live and you want to support this. And I do other videos. I have some really cool videos coming up, tutorials. I haven't had a chance to do that. I've opened up my new studio, and because I'm finishing records with bands that haven't had the records come out yet, I can't really do any previews of that stuff until their records come out or they give me permission. Just doing my little tidying up of making sure I got my screws separated. Those are the 4 screws for the transducer. These are the 3 screws for the head. And now I'm going to take off these screws that are for the that hold down the ribbon mic. Hold on one second. Hold that thought. Just kind of feeling the need right now. I got to take the last drink of my black cherry soda pop here made with cane sugar. It's insane. It's kind of like my tequila shot, except it's non-alcoholic. Probably is worse. coffee, man. Look at that. I love it. Back home, as Nana used to give this to him when he was a kid. And he knows I'm always talking about espresso in the morning. So I'm actually going to have some of that tomorrow morning. Woo. Okay. Back to business. All right, so let's see what we got here. Now I fucked that up. That isn't the way it came. The screw flew out and did some damage. Now let me get I was doing some soldering yesterday. So my tool area, which I'm used to just grabbing things and certain things are just in my wheel well are not there right now because it was all scrambled eggs. So let me just get some of my things I need sorted out so I can see them and be able to grab them and work with this. And my light came on, which is important. All right. Well, thank you for joining in. I will say last night's live, which was insane, it was 5,000 people watched it. And that was part 2. I was just like, I mean, obviously 5,000 people didn't pipe in, but I don't know, like YouTube's strange. I don't know. And that was probably why I would get these weird, like, when someone always pipes in and they go, hi, and their name is like, you know, Devil's baby daughter or something weird. It's always like, I wonder if those are those ones that are like, and then some guys are like writing in like, I just want to let you know I like to troll, so don't hate me. And I'm just like, dude, like, thank you for telling me that as I block them from the chat. But yeah, I don't know what that is. That is just something else. It's interesting. I mean, dude, we're just doing river mics here. It's not a big deal. There's no political shit in here. I mean, if I rap about something about what's going on in my life, about what it's like to live in Los Angeles, that's not political. That's just me sharing a little bit of my day-to-day on what it's like to live here in LA. You know, I walk around. I'm born. See, the thing just fell in there. Once again. I am U.S. born. And I walk around with my passport. Because where I live is just within a mile of the federal building, the ICE Grand Center Central. And we have my neighborhood raided all the time. Gas stations, liquor stores. And they roll up, break the windows of your car, rip you out of the car, and then they ask questions later. And that's the truth. Where I dropped my wife off at work a few weeks ago, I was at a stoplight. A van pulled up right in front of my car. Sliding door opens up. 4 masked dudes come out with guns, running towards my car. They run around my car, and then obviously I wasn't paying attention to exactly where I was. Now I am. But I didn't know it. There was about maybe 5 or 6 Mexican dudes that were drinking Old English at the gas station. They were day workers from a Home Depot. The Home Depot by where I live is the one that the riots started out from. When they raided that, people went and protested after that Home Depot. That's by my house. So when they raided those guys at the gas station, at the liquor store, those are just dudes coming over there after work, and it was a hot day, and they're just drinking some beers, talking shit. Well, anyways, that was the first. I knew the raid had happened because I drove by that morning and I saw the police activity. I didn't know what it was. But, yeah, that's my neighborhood where that happened. So, since then, it's regular for me to see them just ripping people out of cars, all the food trucks and places where people were working. The taco stand ladies, they're no one there anymore. And there's cars that are left in parking lots with windows busted out, and you kind of know that's what had happened. Which is strange to say now that is what is happening in the world, but that's not political. That just happens to be I live in Los Angeles, and that's what I'm dealing with. I'm not that far from Little Tokyo today. And today in Little Tokyo, 50 ice cars and agents, probably if you can fit 4 people in every car and there's 50 cars. The ice building isn't far from Little Tokyo either. I think you could walk there. It's like probably 2 buildings over. Anyways, they drove over in the cars and they invaded all of Little Tokyo, and they were just grabbing people left and right, and it's just fucking crazy. So yeah, I walk around with my passport because there was a girl from Long Beach who happened to not have her ID, and she winded up in El Salvador. An artist, a totally cool chick from the Long Beach area, did not have proper identification. They asked questions later. This person ended up being in El Salvador. She has family and stuff, and they had to figure. I don't know what the follow up is to that, but she got busted without ID, and ended up they just shipped her out. So I kind of don't want to have that happen to me, and I'm hoping that by me not even being political, I'm just saying that's the reality of me. I'm a Latino, third generation. If you saw me, I look like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I look like a punk rock day worker. I'm not fucking dressed nice. But the profile is brown skin. So I am brown skin. I'm a Latino. I look like a kind of an elder uncle cholo, maybe. Cholo is a like kind of a Mexican gang member guy. I don't have any tattoos on me, which would be the first probably blessing. But yeah, I mean that's life. So I used to walk down to the little tamale place next to my studio. I have not ventured out since the ice race because where my studio is, there's a Rite Aid and a Shell station. Maybe it's an Arco, and the worst part was my favorite fish tacos and my favorite tamale place, or would have to pass like Grand Central Ground Zero East LA, and they are constantly raiding the liquor store over there and the Arco or the gas station. And I just don't want to get pulled over. I don't want to get hassled. And what they do is they take you into custody anyways, and they release you like 12 hours later. I just don't even want to do that, man. I don't want my wife to be like, yeah, he went to work and I don't know where he is. And that's the reality of what happens. It's America too. If I mouth off and tell like, hey, you fucking idiot, don't fucking touch me, then guess what? He's gonna fucking touch me, and I'm going to jail, and I'm gonna get charges of resisting arrest to a federal officer. You're kind of fucked. I mean, you really, really are at a disadvantage um, for that situation. But yeah, born and raised, never in my life have I ever worried about my ID or having something on me. And now every day I just freak out. One day I went out without my passport. But I do have a copy of my birth certificate. And I have that in my wallet as a copy of my passport. But I decided just to carry around my fucking passport. Like, it's going to happen. Where I live is in Lincoln Heights, Cypress Park, where the first riots happened, or when the Home Depot is. And I have to take my wife to work every day there. And then where I saw the ICE agents grabbing all the Mexicans that were on the street, that was about halfway between my house and my wife's work. And then when I get to my studio, I live literally Grand Central, middle of East LA, which is, once again, if they want to pick up some people, they're gonna grab me there. So back to the river mic. As I say, I'm not gonna talk politics, and here I am fucking ranting. One thing that happens in these, which you're seeing right now, is that these have all come undone. This plate and this plate, these are all supposed to be secured in there. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But I need to get this all sorted out because when I lay the ribbon in there, um, I don't want that to I don't want that to move around. So when all else fails, hey John, what's up? This is a Cascade fathead. sent from my homie, Electric Owl Works. If you guys want to add him, he's a real sweetheart. He's helping me out, doing a little schnizzle manizzle, sending me some mics, which I'll be working over the next few days. Like Paul, he's sent me a pretty good eclectic group of microphones. Most I've worked on. Actually, all of them I have worked on before. So we're just going to drop that in there. I do have to make sure this is aligned. Give me a second. Yeah, this came undone. But, you know, it's not bad. It's just, once again, these are just older, and they're just, through time, that's going to be a problem when I'm putting the ribbon inside. And also, if you did buy these and you have one of these, eventually this is just going to mess up the sound of the mic because they're not going to be in there. And also, if it comes loose, the ribbon's going to come loose, and then definitely you're going to have some problems. Come on, motherfucker. Just stay in there for daddy. Come on. I got people watching, man. Yeah, man, you better carry your passport too. It's so weird. It's so weird. My wife's a US citizen, but she has one of those passport cards. I'm like, that's what I need to get, man. This little passport card is fine for me. Okay, that should be fine for that. Now I will say, I didn't really expect this out of this fathead. It looks like that's a massive gap, which could be 6 millimeters maybe, but this looks massive. Like usually this looks almost grinded down. Like there's usually, it goes in a little bit. I don't know. This may be a massive gap, which would be killer. I mean, that looks like, let's see here. Will this even go in there? Okay. Well, that block fits in there. That usually doesn't fit in any of my microphones, so I don't know what that's going to be, but let's just see what this gap is. Wow. Oh my God, man. That is insane. That is incredible. Holy smokes. A Kohl's is a Kohl's is about 630. And this is almost 6.5 millimeters, which is incredible because Stagers, I think Stagers are 7 or 8 millimeters, which is massive. The biggest gaps I've ever worked on. But I don't think I've ever gotten a fathead that has had such a big gap. And to me, it's just about real estate. It's just more ribbon and more tone and more sounds. This is almost identical to a Kohl's. Kohl's cost about 13, I think it's 3,000 for a pair of Kohl's. And the gap is the same as this, except a Kohl's is only 1 inch. It's probably right there. And that is way longer. That is something that is new to me. I've done these a bunch of times. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, or I'm not as aware as I am now, but the last fat hits I did, I do not remember them being almost 6.5 millimeters. So this is fucking huge. That means there's gonna be a big fat ribbon in there. See, that other ribbon looked like it was about a 5 millimeter ribbon and a 6.5 gap. I'm gonna put a ribbon in there that's gonna be almost 6 millimeters in there. So that real estate of being filled out with a ribbon is gonna be outrageous. So yeah, I will say I think you got a winner. I don't know what the other one is because I didn't open it up, but we'll make a mental note. Let me get one more reading on this to make sure I'm correct. Yeah, thank you for hearing me out. That is just not, that's not a wine that isn't political, left or right, or center or upside down. That is just a reality check. And the fact is, if I see them, I'm rolling down my windows because I don't feel like going down to Mission Street to have my windows fucking fixed after they don't ask any questions and they just fucking bust out your windows because you're got a fucking brown face. Holy cows, man. That's fucked up. Okay, we're at. Okay, I think this may be a little different from the top and the bottom. Okay, what are we right here? Almost 6:30. Okay. So the gap is it's 6:12 here and about 6:30 there. So you can see it slightly open up where it's bigger on the bottom. So 6:30 is here. So my ribbon has to be to fit in within 6:12. Let me get a double check on that. Yeah, 6:12. I'll go 6:18. 6:18. 6:29. All right. 6:29. We'll say officially is our gap. Wow, 250 for a pair, man. I just saw a pair in the paper for $700. Oh man, can't complain about the day. There's a place not too far from here called Silver Lake Ramen. It's one of my favorite places. They have them all over LA. I didn't realize they had one just down the street from the studio. So for $8, I got a spicy tuna roll. So fucking good. It's the best brain food. I think that's what I came in here kind of gung ho. No, I'm like fucking, oh my god, why did I go live, man? I could be in bed right now, but fuck it. You only live once, man. When you're dead, you can sleep. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? All right. So we got to cut a ribbon for this. We know the gap. We know the rules. You guys know the shit talking I'm gonna do. All right. Got enough. All right. And make sure this is actually clean. Whew. All right, we're really doing this. Come on, I'm live. I can't fuck this up. We gotta get one and done. I don't want to let. I'm fucking being watched. Hold on. Let's see. A question from John. Where do you buy the ribbon stuff? You can get that on eBay. And I don't know. I know they've gone up in price, but you can get different thicknesses. Like Kohl's are 0.6, which don't get them. They'll fucking just, if you look at them, they disintegrate. But most ribbons of the world are made 1.8 and 2.5. I'm actually using 2.5 because I'm corrugating these like a Royer. And they're super heavy, they're super durable, and they're not going to blow, or I should say they're harder to blow. But I think when people use 1.8, it's a little bit cheaper. And I think that's just a way of being whatever. I mean, I say my corrugation has as much mids and highs as 1.8, but people will prefer 1.8. But you can just get them on eBay. I get mine from, I believe it comes from Japan, and it's more expensive. My sheets that I get are between $100 and $150 for the big sheets. You'll see these in smaller sheets because I have to get them and then cut them down to a workable size. You don't want to work on a sheet that's massive because if I mess up and I rip it and it rips the whole thing, you're going to cry. So I put them in workable sheets, and I believe that that guy that sells them, I think it's called Gas Note or Guest Note, he sells you them in workable sheets that cost, I don't know, $30, $50, whatever he sells them for. You can get some, but what I would recommend is just go out and buy some Reynolds wrap and get a corrugator and start corrugating ribbons and just seeing how it feels to work with it, and then drop $30, $50 into a ribbon set. I would start with the thickest ribbon, 2.5, and then start cutting it and putting it through a corrugator and buy Japanese or Chinese microphones. Get some MXLs, go on the market. They're super cheap to get, and then experiment. Do a test talking into the microphone before you change the ribbon, then change the ribbon and see if you've done anything that sounds better. And then as you work with the ribbon, you'll be able to start to understand how it feels, how to work with it, and eventually, hopefully, be able to buy some ribbons on the market for cheap that are blown, and then you repair them yourself. That's technically what I started to do. I initially got my first 160, Buyer 160, which was blown from Palm Springs. And I don't know anything about it except I wanted to put my ribbons that I already designed that were like Buyers inside these mics. And that was my first microphone I did, and it fucking sounded awesome. I know, I'm talking shit. When I used to go to my friend's studio and all he had was sparkling water, I was always bummed out. I was like, wow, geez, what does that guy like about sparkling water? And now I'm like, fucking shit, I can't get enough of it. Oh my god. At least it's better than Diet Coke. Well, it's bad enough I have the cherry soda, but I heard that shit's fucking bad. All right. Let's do this. That microphone has a massive fucking ribbon gap. I love that. I think that may be one of the largest ribbons I've seen in a Cascade. Once again, if you guys are tuning in, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I think it's a small fee, a few bucks. And whenever I release a video, I can show it to you guys first. You can check it out. Or if I do a little, I'm hopefully going to get it set up soon so I could do some, have it connected to my system so I can play a record I'm working on and maybe show you what I've been doing, what's going on. I have plans to do that. I used to work for Produce Like a Pro, and every week I used to go in and do this thing for the Academy. And I kind of want to do the same thing on my own, but just have it be just cool records I'm working on. Maybe talk about some sounds, drums, bass, guitars, vocals, more on the engineering side of things. I'm not, always one for. I just think it's kind of silly when you talk about really diving deep into all the things that you want to make a record sound good. I'm still a believer in, microphones and the art of engineering. And like I said, all my favorite engineers and producers are really sickos. They're really like the guys that know how to do it. And that's my inspiration. Engineering, things that go along with engineering, like Topo Chico and subscriptions. Oh my god. Hold on 1 second. All right. Everyone's still there? Did I lose you? Get my good razor blade. I always do this. I try to put my razor blade, the last one is the one I need. And then I hate handling my razor blades. It's like always like, come on. Don't fucking, there it is. I could tell you how many times I fucking cut off part of my thumb. A lot. Okay, let's do this now. All those little gashes. Or other ribbons. So I've been doing a lot. Yeah, man, I'm doing a lot. Yeah. Been a wise guy again, huh, Manny? All right, so let's get ready to rumble. Corrugation time. Don't cut your finger. And Electric Owl and Common Time Productions can't buy me a coffee. But if you want to buy me a coffee or a Topo Chico, I am a Topo Chico whore. You can hit the thanks icon and you can buy me a cup of coffee. If you like what you're seeing, you can subscribe to me if you wanna. I don't know if it's really the value in that either. I don't know. If you like ribbons, fuck yeah. If you want to hear about cool sounds, including drums and cool microphones, fuck yeah. If you want to learn how to make a cool cup of coffee, fuck yeah. My next video I'm going to do is going to be making a Wagyu steak. You want to know how to cook a steak? I can cook a mean fucking steak. And cooking a Wagyu steak is pretty fucking exciting. I'm telling you. Man. All right. Set away. Let's get this prepared, the preparation. All right, that looks good. Let's separate. Oh, I fucking need my razor blade again to separate the paper. Okay. We need Q-tips. Razor blade. All right. Fingers don't fail me now. The worst part about the foil getting it ready to corrugate it is ruining it before you corrugate it. I tell you, it never gets easy working with foil. I fucking ruined about a quarter of my foil for coals, which is 0.6. I had opened up the sheet to move it slightly, and then I was just the puff of the paper closing sent a wave through it that the wave stopped halfway and just shot a crack through the foil. And it was like I probably lost about $40 of foil by just the wind of the paper. So yeah, if you're gonna get into that, get a thicker foil if you can. Learn how to handle it. And as you get better and more confidence, man, I would, then I think you're able to uh, handle the other one. Let's see a question really quick. I found the MXL 80 I sent you at a yard sale, man. I mean, yeah, dude, you can get those super cheap. And honestly, when you put a good ribbon in those, like any fucking ribbon mic, they smoke. Not weed. They just smoke sound and guitars and drums and percussions. Okay, give me a second. Um, Wait, my tools. Oh shit. That was smooth sailing. So, if you watch me do these, we need to now stretch out that ribbon. I definitely think that is the problem with ribbons that come from China. I think because they're mass produced, whether it's a machine or not. I think it was a machine doing them. Like, I think CAD does that. I think they stretch them and tune them automatically. Um, but if you don't stretch this and I install this, the first time wind hits it and it opens up, it won't go back to its shape. It just will lay limp like a hammock in there. So when I stretch it, if you watch those videos, how they make the Roya ribbons and how they make AEA ribbon mics, they stretch them out massively. So when they install them, they are good to go. And that's something that early on I've been doing with my microphones, and I found out that that was the best result. So when I install them, they retain their ribbon tension a lot longer. Texas. Just stretched it out from its original kind of. Come on, don't do this. Alright, now. What's missing? Oh, the microphone. So this is a Cascade, which is one of the best lollipops you can get. And if you get them upgraded, they then sound like $1,400 ribbon mics, as opposed to a $250 to $800 pair of ribbon mics that are okay. They have everything you would need that make it incredible. Everything is super sick. That gap's sick. The way the grills open up. You know, I think a big mistake is when people make ribbons and there's not a lot of room here if it's a figure eight. And having this open air come around the ribbon just means kind of a more realistic picture, especially when you're using it with drum sets. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, huh? Right, that is going to be shot. We need to get a new one. Where are my Q-tips? There. Just dropping alcohol in the middle. Don't get them on the magnets. The alcohol will hold the ribbon mic in place while I install the ribbon. Holy mackerel, that's a massive ribbon. For me personally, man, this is a sick mic. That gap is so fucking cool. And then put this nice ribbon in it, and you're talking fucking money. You're talking like a badass microphone. If I make a lollipop ribbon, it's gonna be something like this one. It's not gonna be like a pinnacle. It's gonna be the man. I have an idea. This could be so sick when I do one. But yeah, this is inspiring. All right, let me check on the light and make sure that I really like the gap. I hope this is a one and done because that looks really fucking good. Woo. So that is installing a ribbon and a ribbon mic. And that ribbon I put in there, if you can remember what the other corrugation was, it's a little bit tighter. You can't really tell, but it's got these nice little ridges. That's all mids and highs. And then the tension, good. Perfect. No, it's not perfect. It's fucking great. Fucking might. I shouldn't do that. Paul from England, he'll type in here and be like, what the fuck, dude? You making fun of my peeps? No, bro. I love your peeps. Light here. So the ribbon I put in there, it's definitely better than the one that was there. Definitely not an E-mix. It's right in the ballpark of, that's where I want the ribbon to look like inside the magnets. Only problem with this mic right now, if that screw flies out, it's gonna fuck up that ribbon. too tight until I put the other one in. Because I want to be able to move it. I don't want it to restrict that. Send this mic in. It's a very special mic. And I think this is going to be what I would consider the ultimate re-riveting of a microphone. These are my favorites. It tilted on. Oh, fuck. Okay. And you tighten these down a little bit at a time because I don't want to buckle that plastic. It's just plastic holding it down. I'm only worried about one side. I know I've got the other side in the middle, but now that I've secured that one side, look at how great that is. That's so sick. Close to the magnets, full ribbon, high quality ribbon in there. This makes all the difference. This is what separates this mic. I mean, putting in a new ribbon is the only separation from this and a Royer. It's just a high quality ribbon. I don't know why all these cheaper companies just don't get that down. I mean, cool for me, but it would really help if people can buy these mics off the shelf for $200 to $500 and have them just be up to snuff, and that would be amazing. Well, that's kind of why I made my own ribbon mic company, but as you can tell, that just slipped right there. But that's okay. It's the alcohol is coming undone from this one right here, so that's why I gotta shut the fuck up and get it started again. All to drip in the other direction. Light. Left. Need to make it go right. Check it again. When I get quiet, I'm tripping balls. Just to let you know. Oh, shit. Ah. That's why I'm tripping balls. Don't fucking go on the ribbon, you motherfucker. Ah. Holy cows. That's how fast the schnizzle may got. Almost got fucked up. Holy shit. I said I'm tripping balls. Ah. Let me do this again. Once again, ribbon mic is like practicing law. Like when they lose your case. Don't worry about it, bro. We're gonna retry. We're gonna do it again. We're practicing law. Or when you go to the doctors, don't worry about it, man. I know your hip was recalled. We're just gonna put a new one in, and it's practicing physician. We're practicing. Well, I'm a practicing practitioner of ribbon mics, and sometimes it's just a fucking son of a bitch. Let me check that. All right, we like that. We like it, man. Do you know what I'm saying, man? Stuck to my finger. I don't like that kind of shit. That the shit scares me. I don't like the way I'm holding that. Can we get this insert just right? The magnet, please. Now we're not gonna put this tight because I still have to do the other side, and I may need to wiggle this around a little bit. I don't want my finger to catch that ribbon that's hanging over the edge, because that will pull the ribbon out of the transducer, and I will be upset, and I will have to do it again, which is okay. I'm trying to get this one and done. I have a good streak lately of one and done. Only when I do Kohl's, I have to do it multiple times because that shit fucking is hard. Okay, this again, my light game was weak. Now my light game is better. Alright, my light game's good now. Don't fucking have that screw fly out. To the shit. Thanks for piping in, George. Jorge. Don't ever call me Jorge. My name is George. You can call me G. What's up, G? Don't ever call me Jorge, though. Okay, I like that. Let me get this. That is the hard part, is getting that piece off. I've done that before where I grab that, and if I have 1 ounce of slack in that ribbon that isn't tightened down, it ruins the whole fucking ribbon. So let me just see if I can fucking tweak my shit. Alright, good. Woo! Love it. Love it. Alright, let me check this real quick. We like it. We like it, man. Love it. Alright. Looks like a beauty. Let me check in the light one more time. Yeah, let me check the tension. Alright. I will have to test this, and I'll be comparing it to the other one. And if it doesn't get up to snuff, I will repeat and rinse. I will do this mic again. Everything you saw, I will do it again because it needs to be badass for my homie. Electric Owl Works, Chaz, my homie. And I'm not done yet. I have to get the tape. I have to get my tape game on because I have to tape the original screens back on. People think those screens are about sound. They could be a little bit, but most of it is when you saw me blowing on the mic. If a high sound pressure, high sound source hits the ribbon, the screen keeps the ribbon inside the transducer because that keeps the ribbon from getting ruined. As you saw how fast you can ruin these, that screen needs to stay in the safest place is between those two magnets. If it leaves the magnetic area and it's at the mercy of anything that can rip it, because it doesn't take a lot to ruin a ribbon mic. But I do have a lot of resilience in mine. I corrugate them. My corrugator is pretty fucking sick. I've handmade it myself. Now here's the thing that no one ever notices. I don't corrugate them with paper. Everybody in the world corrugates them with paper. Royer doesn't corrugate them with paper. So I've worked it out enough on my custom cogs that I can compress the ribbon without ripping it through my corrugator, which corrugates it and makes it stronger without paper. So that is something that I do, and I've been doing that since day one. And that's why my ribbons are technically, I think, have a better sound, because the cogs on the corrugator, the teeth, are giving exact copies of the cogs on the foil. If I was to put two pieces of paper and then run it through the same cogs, they will be duller. And that's why my ribbons, I believe, come out way better than most other people of the world, because I'm the only one that does it without paper. And I like it. And I think it sounds fucking better that way. So when I make my own ribbon mic, I have to spend a little bit of time, because that's just a cheap plastic one I bought off the internet, and I changed the cogs on it, and I've kind of customized it so the tension was right. But when you get a nice corrugator, you can adjust the tension with screws and rivets and balances. So I need to make one that's going to do the same thing I want, and that's why Royer ribbons are so durable, and that's why my ribbons are so durable, because I corrugate them without paper. And that's a big deal. But I don't recommend, if you're starting to do ribbons, do not do that until you get your cogs right and you know that your corrugator is working the way you want it to work, and you could test run it. But a lot of times it's going to shred your ribbons to pieces. So you have to get that part right. And lucky enough, I had nothing but time during the pandemic to get it right. And that's probably my only saving grace, is that we all had fucking too much time on our hands. But this turned out to be a good thing. I got into ribbon mics during the pandemic and seeing my friend Ulf. If you haven't added Hoborec, Hoborec, my friend Ulf has that channel. He's the one that did the first video I ever saw how to make a ribbon mic. Blew my mind. He's in Sweden. I didn't know him at the time. And now I can say Ulf's my friend. Whenever he comes to Los Angeles, we go have breakfast. The guy who fucking inspired me, he lives in Sweden. He's now my buddy. He makes a sick, I mean, if you want to get a robotic arm to put a 57 on it that's remote controlled from your mixing room, him and his pops designed one. You can buy it. It was like 250 or 400 US dollars. I have one. It's fucking sick. And he makes guitars. He's a sick producer, plays in a sick band. Rad fucking dude. And inspirational. Like, I would not be doing this if it wasn't for Ulf. So hopefully if you guys see this video and you're inspired by it, maybe in 3 years you'll be like, yeah, I fucking blow Manny away on cutting ribbons, man. He used to be good, but now there's a new kid in town. Maybe it's you, Juanito from Lancaster, or Paul from England, Chaz from the East Coast, or maybe Manny from El Monte, California, Hoji Town. Frank Zappa is from El Monte, so before you talk shit about my city, Frank Zappa came from my city, all right? Keep it fucking down, all right? I'm just kidding. Oh, shit. I'm fucking exhausted. That was kind of stressful. Now I need to do the next stressful part, is don't fuck up the ribbon and put the screens back on it. And don't do this in front of my homie that he's actually watching me, the guy that sent me this mic. Jesus Christ, why do I do this? Why did I say I was going to do this live, and then the people that sent me the mics can watch me and scrutinize me and be like, Manny, stop talking shit and fucking put that ribbon in the mic. Stop being a little bitch about it. Just fucking get it done. Handle your business. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Logan is on YouTube, and Logan just sent me a cool compliment. Thank you, boss. Woo, hoochie poochie. I say hoochie poochie because my wife got mad at me because I cuss a lot. So instead of me saying like fucking shit, I just say hoochie poochie. So if you hear me say that, I'm really meaning to say fucking shit. So that's what I mean about this screen. Now that I've done this, this is packaging tape. It's pretty fucking durable, and it doesn't ever seem to lose its stickiness. Because even when I take about Chinese mics and they have this in it, my hands are sticky. Like if I don't put acetone on them, I've got glue still on my hands from removing the tape because it's really good. So once again, I had removed the screens from both sides because eventually that tape is going to come undone, and that is the only downside. The tape that they use in early Cascades doesn't last long. So if you send them to me and not only I re-ribbon them, it's good to replace that. Holy moly. That is so good. If you want to help me out, you can sign up. And if you hit the thanks icon somewhere in the bottom under the description, you can buy me a Topo Chico. If you want to subscribe as a membership, I'm not even lying, it's a few bucks. And when I release a video that's a really legit one, I can let all the people that subscribe to my channel preview it even a day before I release it. So that's kind of cool. I've done that before, but I think I have like 3 dudes, like my buddy Joey's on it, and like 2 other guys who are like, Manny, this is cool. And like 3 people are watching it. That's still fucking cool. But anyways, if you want to help me out, you can do that on a subscription. Once again, it's the end of a long day. I've done a lot. I've mixed the record. I've done some stuff. We just got to do it. We got to do it. Oh, yeah. I want to pop this off in too much of a celebration around the ribbon. But look at this. Oh, my God. This is the best. The best black cherry cane sugar soda. I just had to open up a new one. It's fucking late. It's 11:30. I fucking killed it. That thing is so fucking good. I'm going to celebrate. Everyone cheers. If you got a soda, a water, raise your hands in the air. We're doing a toast to Electric Owl Works for sending over their ribbon mics. And thanks everyone for checking out my page, all 7 of you. I'm going to have a drink right now. Oh, man. That is dynamite. Whew. I mean, the days of drinking a margarita or some Gastadores with a chaser of Squirt, I'm not into it. That is fucking good. Thanks, brother. All right, so now here's the tricky part. I've got to do the backside without ripping out the soldering there. But these magnets are so fucking strong. They're really holding this transducer in. I do not want to break that little wire in there. But I do want to make sure that that screws tight. Let me just make sure. Yep, we're good. I didn't do the other one. No, the other one is soldered in. All right, so let's... Once again, it got stuck again. Oh, fuck, this thing is really strong. I mean, this is probably one of the best magnetized mics I've worked on in a long time. I have no idea why this particular lot of magnets is just fucking ridiculous. But this mic is, as they say in France, tough as fuck. It's got a massive gap. Cool fucking ribbon in it now. Got some cherry soda residue on the tape here, adding a little fucking bit of schnizzle manizzle on it. It's fucking rocking. And I'm gonna test it, and if it's not fucking rocking, Then I'm going to rinse and repeat, and everything you see me do here, I'm going to do it again. I'll tell you why. Even though I'm charging people to do these, I'm really trying it to help people out that have a studio that can't afford a $1,400 ribbon mic. Even though this is going to cost a little bit of money to get it done. Almost everybody I make these mics for, they have a studio. They're about to record drums on the weekend. Everybody's going to fucking test this shit. Even today, a guy came to my studio. He picked up an R144. I didn't know it, but he was going to take it back to his studio and compare what I did to a stock. So he bought a pair, and I forgot he did that. He says, hey man, I got a MXR 144. I want you to re-ribbon. I re-ribboned it for him. He came by my studio. He picked it up. And then he was like, okay, I'm taking this back to my studio and I'm going to compare it to the stock one I bought. And I was like, oh, fuck. But I do have confidence. He wrote me back and says, dude, you're totally right. When he played guitar with my ribbon that I just recorded, same mic, new ribbon, he fucking was like, I want to play guitar again. This sounds so fucking good. And he said that the stock 144 just sounded lifeless and boring. Nothing against MXL. I will just say this. If they ever check Sweetwater and they were to ask, or they ran my P.O. box, they would see hundreds of fucking MXLs going to this dude named Manny. And it's just like, man, some of the great Cascades, MXLs, Nadies, those are cheap fucking mics that are made in China. They only lack ribbons. And what you get from me is you got the ribbon department from Royer, you got the ribbon department from AEA, you have the ribbon department from Kohl's, and you have the ribbon department from Biodynamics, which I do all those microphones. So I put a ribbon in them like I'm some fucking German lady in Bayer, and I'm doing, I'm like the one lady that does Bayers. Like, I care about it that much. So that's my schnizzle manizzle. I'm almost out of here. Make sure you guys subscribe or add me. You can buy me a coffee. Even better, send me your fucking microphones, man. If you just write me an email, I'll give you a list of mics to get. The easiest one to get are the MXLs because you can get them from Sweetwater for 99 bucks. They ship it free in the US to my PO box, which you'll get my information first. They send it to me for free. I get the mic done for $250, and then I cover for free shipping back to you in the US, US only. If you're not in the US and you're in Germany or someone else, it's like usually $60 to $80 more. But if you are in the US, I cover the shipping free. I cover the cost of the microphone insured, and I cover the cost of my upgrade insured. I do recommend you getting a pair of MXLs if you're going to do it. And the other thing is, too, everybody doesn't have time to go searching on eBay and Reverb and OfferUp and whatever you can do. You can find those deals for these microphones. But if you want a no-stop shop, just go to Sweetwater, buy a pair, get my information, send it to me. I can upgrade the mics, and they sound like $1,400 mics, and all you do is you drop about $350 of your investment into a ribbon mic. But if you're a producer and you've got a laptop and you're recording your own band, ribbon mics are the fucking bee's knees of microphones because they are the gateway to Beatle drums, Led Zeppelin drums, Steve Albini guitars, Jack White vocals, Jack White guitars. All that shit comes from ribbon mics. The Levy Breaks by Led Zeppelin or Bayer 160. So, yeah, ribbon mics fucking kick ass. And so do you, my all 10 peeps that are watching me. See, I don't understand YouTube in some ways. So I'm looking at my screen. It says I've been on for 100 minutes already, which is fucking ridiculous. I don't know who's going to watch me for 100 minutes, but someone did. I'm watching me for 100 minutes. So yeah, so last night I did this microphone right here. This is what the MXLs look like, except I painted this one with this cool automotive green that I love. This mic has pure silver wiring in it, which is a special boutique build that I did. So I did it last night. I'm looking at my screen. It says only 13 people are watching. When I got off the line, it said there was almost 5,000 people watching, which is like fucking crazy. But I didn't see 5 people tune in, so I don't know what the algorithm does or how or who sees this. I used to do videos all the time, and my videos usually get anywhere between 900 to 1,500 to 7,000, up to about 14,000. But it's really weird that when I go live. So this is another Cascade I just did. This one is actually for sale. I've already done it already, which is somewhat like the Fathead, same company. This is called a Victor. And if you can see it, that's a massive ribbon in there. It's bigger than, the ribbon's bigger than this one in length, but this one's bigger in width. That is a transducer that looks out of an R84 by AEA. It looks like their version of an R84, but a Cascade version. So anyways, I've done the ribbon again, put like a Royer, really, really strong ribbon in there. This one is $450, shipped US. I'll cover it 100%, the insurance of this. And also, all my ribbon mics, if you plug it in when you get home, and I know this happens, people accidentally put phantom power and you blow the ribbons. Send it back to me. It's $30 to replace the ribbon, and you pay for shipping. So, like a tire in your cars, if you wear them out after a while, you've been using this on drums, it's getting tired, just send them back to me. $30 to do the ribbon, and you pay for the shipping. And that's what Jack White does. He does that to his Coles. So, yeah, that's a Cascade I have for sale. And then, like I said, if you're interested, and I've only made 6 of these. This is the 6th one. This is pure silver inside, super fucking smooth. It sounds different than most mics you hear. The top end is just like kind of like butter. I know ribbons do that, but it has kind of a sparkle and a sound to it. It's 100% silver wiring in it. It almost has 2.5 feet of silver wiring, pure silver from the 1970s. Probably at least 150 to 200 bucks in silver that's in this mic. This mic is 500, shipped to US. Just get my PO box. I'll insure it to you. And the same thing, if you blow this mic, don't crush it. If you run over it and you send it back to me and it has tire tracks on it, I'm not going to fucking fix it. But if it's just the ribbon, you just pay me 30 bucks if you blow it, and I'll replace the ribbon always in the mics that I do. Excuse me. Holy cows. I'm really pimping it, huh? All right, so I don't know what else I can really do except let's fucking lock this motherfucker back up again. These magnets are super strong, so those screws are just like screaming, "Put me inside you, motherfucker!" All right, and you got it. That goes in too. You know what? Ribbon mics, in some ways, that ribbon mic they just showed you right now, that was made out of silver. I do somewhat of a humbucker pickup kind of way with the ground. So in theory, the magnets, and I'm not using coils, but the foil and some of the wiring that engulfs the magnet is like a humbucker. I don't wind, I don't do any of that stuff, but you know, I'm a guitar player, and I know that I watch tutorial videos on winding pickups. I'm always like, fuck, that's cool. And you know, there is a theory I was just watching. It's so funny you mentioned that. I just saw it today, and there's a guy talking about the more wines versus the less wines. And there is a drawback. It isn't about making the most wines you can. There's a drawback in some of the sound and the dBs of loudness from the windings. I actually have not done EMGs. When I was younger, I'm a shredder, and just to let you know, I did try out for Ozzy. I actually played with Ozzy's band, which is fucking crazy. It was at Mate's Studio in the 90s after Jacob Lee left. I played with Randy Castillo and Phil Susan. Ozzy was passed out, and they had these like little gypsy booths with pillows and shit. He was just passed out, so I played with the band. 2 records, Bark at the Moon, and I think it was called The Ultimate Sin. And that was after Jake Lee left. So at that time, when you were younger, and we're talking early 90s, late 80s, EMG pickups were somewhat popular. People were doing that. But now that I've been playing for a lot of years, I do kind of like the Eddie Van Halen, Billy Gibbons pickups, Jimmy Page's, you know, all those kind of like retro, retro style pickups. I love those. But see, speaking of this, these are neodymium magnets. A lot of new mics are made, a lot of new pickups will be made with neodymium, but like Eddie Van Halen pickups would probably be alnico. So in my own custom mics that I'll be making, my first mic will be neodymium because of the setup, which are the magnets. But I plan on using some alnico magnets because I like the way alnico sound. So when you talk about EMG and passives, I think that opens up the conversation with using old alnicos. But the alnicos are not as strong as they're not as strong as neodymium. So there is some drawbacks to that. And I gotta get this right in here. That's not going in. Hold on. Here, and I've not gotta get this right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? There. All right, this needs to be lined up right. The magnets are just screaming this transducer on, but I need to get these holes lined up properly. Two. One of them was loose because they weren't really mounted in the transducer. Or the transducer wasn't really mounted in the... One was loose because it's just not lining up with the screws, which is strange. Let me loosen these two out. Not all the way. Maybe that did it. That screws out. The room has a part that's tripping me out. That's the one that was loose last time. I don't know if that one just never lined up. I see it now. I see what's happening. There it goes. Now that other screw came out. Son of a bitch. This mic was made, one screw did not go in. So that's in. This one is not going in. To get that squared out. Slight move of one goes in and the other one doesn't. When I went to unscrew it, one was completely undone. Okay, that was tight. This one's tight. This is slightly off. And when I got it, only 3 screws were working. Some weird alignment going on here. Combination of all 4 of them fitting, or it's not going to be fitting in there correctly. That's great. Once again, I don't make these mics, but that is the drawback sometimes of, you know, when I got this, 3 screws were in, and I know one was loose, but I was just like, oh, that's weird. But no, maybe it wasn't weird. Maybe in the factory, they only did 3. But I've got to get the combination right because this needs at least 3 in. Weird. Weird is this, man? away. Why is this not? What is going on here? All right. I think the screen is just adding a little bit of, even though it looks like it would not be a big deal, that little extra tape there not being lined up is making it not work. That my screen on the bottom is basically making it a hair right there. I'm not able to get a good, I mean, it's that fine of a line. If this is hindering the it's kind of keeping it from lining up to be able to put a screw in, which is crazy, but it's okay. I just couldn't understand how they're not fitting properly. I think I'm gonna, how big is this screen anyways? Yeah, one screw wasn't fitting there anyways. That, and try to get the tape away from that edge, or the edge of the, I think my tape may be too big too. So let me cut this tape in half. Take a little bit off the edge. Take a load off, Sally. Take a load for free. It's practicing of ribbons. No one says I'm gonna fucking get it right every fucking time. I can only wish for one and done. But at least the ribbon's good, and this is something to know. I don't know that the screws have no tolerance for even the thickness of a piece of tape to keep the screws from making contact inside. When I got the mic, one was just loose. So I think, at least out of the factory, one of them, either the screen was too big or whatever the case was. When I took it off, I had 3 or 4 connected, but I need to get all 4 connected. So I'm just gonna adjust it here. I wondering if that doesn't. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna cut the screen. I think the screen's too long. Give me a second to cut it. Being 2 of them from even making good contact. The front one didn't matter because it's just the room behind this. These little plates, that tape, if it comes up here, if the screw comes or the screen comes up to that, you can't make, the screws aren't long enough. I mean, these screws are not long. Usually they would be twice as long, and they're just not. Our tape. Tape again because that little bit of tape that's coming up here on the screen is, this plate needs to be exactly on that to make these screws fit, and I got to get it right. Probably why one of them didn't work, and then when I replaced them, I'm just not getting it right. That probably comes around like that. This one is coming around up here. Maybe this where the screen meets. I don't even know. It's really, really strange. Fuck. What's the deal here? You're right. We're gonna hit this one tomorrow. Ribbon's done. I'm gonna cut a new screen for the bottom, and it just seems like it's just a hair touching that little plate, and that little bit of offset is just making it almost be impossible to get that in there. All right. Or, we're gonna hit this in the morning. I'll have a part 2 on this. I have 2 of these to do, so it's something I gotta overcome. This is a sick mic, totally fucking righteous, perfect balance of ribbon, gap, and width. And we're gonna do part 2. I have 2 of these, so I'm gonna get this one right. It's late. It's about 12 o'clock my time. Almost one and done. Wah, 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 wah. But we'll get it. I think it's just late, and it's probably something totally retarded that I need to just get some sleep on and come back in and do this. Thank you guys. I got 2 of these coming up. I got a bunch more doing it. One and done on the ribbon. Technically, having a little issue of the transducer. When I got this, 3 of the screws were in, 1 was loose. When I went to reinstall it again, there's just something about the way this fits that I've got to get right, and I think it's just a little late. And I'm in the morning when I get in, I can see the screws are aligned. It's not doing it for me. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I got more schnizzle manizzles. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night.